I'm heading to the G7, then to the NATO ministerial, and then to meet with Mr. Putin to let him know what I want him to know.
There are a lot of different issues that the United States has with Russia. The interference in the 2016 election, attempted interference in the 2020 election, cyber security issues. There has been continued aggression by Russia in Eastern Europe, specifically Ukraine. Administration officials expect this just to be the first step, but it does set the tone of what the relationship between the US and Russia and between Biden and Putin is going to be like. President Biden and President Putin last met 10 years ago when Joe Biden was vice president. Joe Biden he said privately,
Mr. President, I'm looking in your eyes and you have no soul.
So it was very awkward. And here they are 10 years later, they haven't met since. President Obama wanted what became known as the reset with Russia. And a lot of people, Republicans primarily, mocked that and said, you can't have a reset if you can't trust the other side. They are skeptical and they're going into this meeting with their eyes wide open. There were a lot of people who thought President Trump was too cozy with Russia and didn't call them out on some of their bad behavior. So now Joe Biden comes in and he has to sort of decide what that relationship looked like. And what he's decided is that he really wants to have a dialogue with them. When Donald Trump met with Vladimir Putin, famously, there were not any other people in the room. They were alone in the room for a very long time. And even US officials didn't know what transpired.
This was a very constructive few hours that we spent together.
That's not going to happen with Joe Biden. The White House has already said that both presidents will be there. Of course, interpreters will be there, but some aides will be there as well. There'll be an accounting of what was said.
The relationship between the U.S. and Russia is not about a relationship of trust. It's about a relationship of verification. It's about a relationship of clarifying what our expectations are.
There are some things that the U.S. and Russia can agree on. He's going to talk about climate change. He's going to talk about arms race. The question really is in this conversation is, how much focus is going to be on those other things, the things they don't agree on.
And it is my great hope that, yes, there are some advantages, some disadvantages, but there will not be any impulse-based movements on behalf of the sitting U.S. president.
The meeting is important for Joe Biden more, I think, politically. The United States doesn't expect anything sort of concrete to come out of this meeting between the two leaders. The White House has sort of downplayed expectations.
We don't regard the meeting with the Russian president as a reward. We regard it as a vital part of defending America's interests.
A lot of Republicans, but even some Democrats are saying, look, it's kind of early to have this meeting.
I don't think Biden fully understands what his objectives with Russia are or how to achieve them.
Part of the reason it's a big meeting is because we have to see how the White House and the president manages some of that criticism and some of those expectations. Joe Biden has said publicly that he is going to go in there and say to Vladimir Putin that his behavior and Russia's behavior is not acceptable. Joe Biden and the administration has really emphasized that they know that they might not be able to trust everything he says. I wouldn't expect a big agreement coming out of this, but I would expect this meeting to determine what the next step is, what that relationship looks like between the United States and Russia.